What's up, y'all? WCAR 98.3.com FM. Welcome to another edition of Automotive Talk Radio. I want to talk about something tonight. And I want to talk about something because I brought a lot of cars in my life. And when you purchased a lot of cars in your life, when you're at the dealership and you're signing those bunch of stack of papers, there's something that I want you to pay attention to. And instead of dealing with this one particular document when you're signing the papers, I think what you need to do, you need to tell the dealership this up front. Arbitration agreement. Never sign an arbitration agreement. Once again, never ever sign an arbitration agreement. What an arbitration agreement is, it's an agreement that you agree to that if in fact you have anything wrong with that vehicle, you now go to an arbitrator. So here's what that means. When you purchase a car, there is protocol that dealerships must adhere to in order to get their dealership license. And that is, they must have, they must have the vehicle titled to you in 30 days. No exceptions. They must have a vehicle titled to you in 30 days, right? That's number one. Another thing is all paperwork must be completed in 30 days. Okay. So let's just stay on those two things right there. So what happens is you sign an arbitration agreement. When you sign an arbitration agreement, that means you cannot make a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission, which will bring the wrath of God down on that dealership, nor could you make a claim, nor could you file a claim with the motor vehicles. When you file a claim with the motor vehicles, if they in fact don't give you the license plate for the car or the title for the car, there in fact is violation, and then the wrath will be brought down. Let me tell you in depth what I'm saying, or give you some examples. The problem when you buy cars is sometimes the dealership don't have full ownership of that vehicle. So what they will do is they'll sell the vehicle under the terms of, well, we'll get the title in a week or so. Well, they end up not getting the title in a week. You purchase the car. When you purchase the car, what they do is they milk you along by giving you an additional temporary 30-day tag. And then anything can happen. They could mess around and not have, that could be a stolen vehicle. There's a slew of things that can happen when this in fact is, they don't have the paperwork. So what they'll do is they'll be in violation of the agreement in which they are licensed. So what then they'll turn around and do, they'll turn around and say, well, you signed an arbitration agreement. That means you're going to go through us. And they'll slide it in there like it's nothing. Oh, it don't mean nothing. Let me tell you what happened to this girl that brought a car with she brought a car with drive time. I'm gonna tell you what happened. This female, she brought a car with drive time. She called me up. She came to the office rather, and she, I have a legal aid company, and she came to my office and she brought a car with drive time. She brought the car with drive time, and drive time couldn't get a license. She brought the car in one state. Drive time gave her a temporary tag for that state and couldn't get the car transferred in the state that she lived in. Drive time then came and repoed the car. She put down $4,300. Drive time comes to repo the car. She goes to file a complaint. Lo and behold, they pulled out the arbitration agreement. The arbitration agreement, now she done went and drove the car. She was driving the car, driving the car. I think her sister got married. She lived on the East Coast. Her sister got married. She drove the car all the way to Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota. All this stuff under the context of you know, this was her car. Now, they come and they repo the car. They throw everything back on her. Oh, you didn't do this and you. She says, wait a minute. It wasn't my job to do this. It was the dealership's job to do this. This was not my job. Well, guess what? There was nothing that she could do because she signed an arbitration agreement. And when she started going through the arbitration agreement, it was like, well, we're going to charge you $1.50 for every mile that you drove the car. It was some straight fucking ridiculous shit that she just, in any other circumstance, that company, that dealership would have gotten their ass handed to them. That dealership company would have been like, oh, there's nothing we could do. We got to bow out gracefully because we made a mistake. When you sign an arbitration agreement, they never make mistakes. They'll get you to settle for the mistakes that they made. Now, the way you do this, here's what I tell individuals. I tell individuals that what I do is I charge $5.99 for consultations for individuals that are buying a car and go and you look at the car and I could tell you what to look for. Sometimes I do FaceTime with individuals, have them look at the car. When you go in the car, when you go inside the car, FaceTime me. I can help you by looking at the dashboard, what's to buy, looking at the tires. I'll do a video next on things, what to look for when you're going to go buy a car. However, let me just say this. When I was in the military, people used to come get me when they used to go buy a car. They used to come get me. I used to take them to go buy a car. It was a reason for that. I'm a car connoisseur. But times have changed. You know, I'm 50 years old. And when I was buying cars when I was younger, there was no arbitration agreement. And you'll just, and you know, they'll be coming in and just sign that right there. That's saying if you have any problem, you know, if you will just, okay. And then there's once you sign that arbitration agreement, they literally can stop. Everything they told you up until that point means nothing. They could have told you, we're going to give you a 2% interest rate. Because you signed an arbitration agreement, they can give you a 50% interest rate. Do not, and I repeat, do not sign an arbitration agreement. And one of the things that I do for individuals that get in touch with me, you send me an email, and like I said, I charge $5. I also charge for $14.99 a letter to the dealership. Letter to the dealership. We'll draft up a letter to the dealership. We'll give a terms and understanding of what you want before you even go to that dealer and buy a car. But what I'm telling you right now, do not under no circumstances, put this shit out front. Do not under no circumstances sign an arbitration agreement when you're going to go buy a car. I appreciate you guys for checking me out for this edition of Automotive Talk Radio, WCAR 98.3.com FM. I am the man, not the myth. I am Chris One of the Chris One Radio Group. I appreciate you guys for being here. Listen, y'all, hit that thumbs up button. In addition to that thumbs up button, man, please subscribe to my channel. And when you subscribe, please hit that notification bell. I will check you guys out on the next one. Later, y'all.